Started off as a late night tweet just before I went to bed. Curious, which menopause symptom most surprised you? By the time I'd got ready for bed, my notifications were starting to go nuts. There's even blue ticks answering. And it continued like that throughout the next day and the next day. There were a whole load of different symptoms that caught people by surprise, and I'd love to know if any of them matched yours, so leave me your most surprising symptom in the comments below. What it did was show me once again how menopause is so much more than hot flushes, and yet that's the one we all know about. So let's have a look at the 5 most surprising menopause symptoms, and more importantly, how you can beat them. Now, nobody expects menopause to be all sunshine and roses, but a little bit more floral scented would certainly be nice. A lot of women find their body starts to smell a little bit more in menopause. Now that's because when your estrogen levels drop, your body starts to think it's overheating, so it produces more sweat. Plus, you might actually be overheating with a hot flush. And then of course we have night sweats, and the stress around hot flushes and night sweats can ironically cause us to sweat more. More sweat attracts more bacteria, and that's where the smell comes from. Now, to stop this, you can of course look at ways to stop hot flushes and night sweats, and I've got a video on that. And of course I am a huge fan of 51 apparel, which is everyday menopause clothing that helps regulate your body temperature, so that'll stop you overheating and sweating as well. You may also, although I hate the cliche of a menopausal woman with a fan, but look at a fan, cooling sprays, face mists, anything that'll help cool you down a little bit. What we eat, of course, is really important, so fewer spicy foods because that can influence how your sweat smells, and watch out on the garlic and the sugar because that can also affect how your sweat smells. I love garlic. I hope I don't smell. Indulge in some nice cooling showers or baths. Get something that smells nice. If you do it at night and you put lavender bubble bath in, for example, it'll help you sleep a little better. I really like Neil's Yards products. I just think they smell absolutely gorgeous, and I always feel really relaxed and luxurious when I'm having a bath with them. This is one of the more rare menopause symptoms, but actually I do know somebody who suffers from it. My friend Adele has had burning mouth and a metallic taste. The two often go together, so you might have the metallic taste and you get this burning feeling in your mouth. And of course menopause also affects bone loss, so we have jaw problems sometimes. It really does affect all the body. Again, it's a lack of estrogen which affects our taste buds because it dries up your saliva, and that saliva and your taste buds are how we taste food. It can be a sign of a zinc deficiency, so just a simple zinc supplement at night can often make the difference. And of course drink plenty of water so you're as hydrated as possible. A metallic taste in your mouth is not just a sign of menopause, however, it can be a symptom of something else. So if you try this and it still continues, go see your GP and ask to have it checked out. Say you've got a metallic taste in your mouth and they'll get to action. Come a little closer, cause this is one of those really intimate ones that people don't like talking about. All those jokes about your great Aunt Agnes who used to fart with each step, well, this is the reason why. In menopause, your digestive system slows down, especially in the lower digestive tract. And that means that food sits there a lot longer and it starts storing up the gases, it starts storing up the fecal matter, and it gets a bit smelly. Basically, it's all just sitting there and fermenting, a bit like a compost heap. Stress is another factor. Too much stress turns off your digestive system. So if you need help dealing with anxiety or any of that, I have a video which I'll put the link to up there. Up there, I never can remember, but I'll put the link to that one as well. Also, your gut changes in menopause, so how it actually digests food is slightly different. There's a great book about the gut which I'll put a link to below. So if you want to find out about friendly bacteria and everything, it's a good one to get. So how to get around it? First of all, chew your food and chew it a lot. That'll ramp up all your enzymes, get them ready for the food coming down, and so it'll get broken up a lot quicker. Also the old favourite, drink plenty of water so everything is loose and moist and can move quite easily. Watch your posture when you sit. I mean, if you look at your digestive tract, if you sit up straight, your food's going to have a much easier time passing through. And also peppermint tea is a great thing to drink to help your digestive system, so give that a shot. Mr. 50 Cents had to do a double take when he saw me typing this one into the computer. Formication is a posh way of saying you feel like you've got ants or insects all over your skin. It's that horrible tingling, prickly feeling and you want to scratch and scratch. And quite a few women told me that they'd been suffering from it. Itchy skin was mentioned a lot, and if you'd like me to do a video on that, please just leave a message below in the comments. Before I get on to some possible cures, formication could be a sign of something else as well. So it's one of those ones that I would tell you to go see your healthcare provider and ask about it as well. Things that can help include HRT because it ramps up your estrogen level and restores the moisture back to you. Antihistamines are also a lifesaver. I try and remember to take Pyretes every night before I go to bed. Sometimes I forget, and this is what happens. Then of course, moisturize your skin, get some emollients on. Aveeno is really good and really help moisturize and just feels quite luxurious and nice to rub in. I'm also a huge fan of Palmer's cocoa butter. I love the smell, but you can get unscented. It reminds me of my best friend because she used to wear this a lot when we first met. So whenever I miss her, I have a sniff and it's like she's there. Some oils are really good. Sandalwood and almond oil are really nourishing, and try to use a really soft cleanser as well. You're driving along, you're nice and happy, somebody cuts you up, and one of the first articles I ever wrote about menopause had the headline, "I turned into the Incredible Hulk," or something along those lines, and that's because I did. I used to suffer the most incredible rage. I could kill my husband at times, literally kill him. I used to grab a tea towel and flick it as hard as I could because I just wanted to hurt him. And it would be for something like he hadn't put the knife back in the proper place, and I would just explode. And the worst thing is, and this is what lots of people tell me when they've talked about rage, I hated myself for doing it. I could see what was happening. It was like I was looking out at myself, watching into this huge monster take over. And there was a tiny little part of my brain going, please stop it, please stop it. And the rest of my brain's going, no, I just want to kill everything. A lot of women also tell me this is one of the scariest surprising symptoms as well. Because of that, you're just out of control. It's down to estrogen. Estrogen impacts the serotonin, and that regulates your mood and it gives you the happiness. So actually, along with my HRT, I'm on one of the solutions, which is a very small antidepressant to try and bring me back. That's mainly because I have a progesterone intolerance, so that can take me down into a dark place. So it helps me with that. But it just helps regulate my mood a little bit more as well. Also, another good thing I found was just accepting it. There is research that shows that if you try and suppress your mood like this, that can lead to depression and anxiety. So sometimes it is good just to release it. It's just finding out that good release to do it. It's not going after your husband with a tea towel. There could be lifestyle triggers as well. Caffeine, for example, alcohol. If you're dehydrated, that leads to stress, that leads to anxiety, that leads to rage. Cigarettes are another big trigger that can lead to this. So keep a journal to see if you're doing any of this and if they lead to any of the attacks. Try, if possible, and I know this isn't always possible, but try to take a step back and assess why you're feeling that way. Say to yourself, would I still feel this way if it wasn't for my hormones? Because sometimes you might have a reason for being angry. Other things include meditation and exercise, of course. They both build up your serotonin and they help you relax. And if it gets really bad, then of course therapy. And that's it. I'm not going home to wilt, because if I hadn't had body odor before, God knows in this heat, it is so hot. If you've enjoyed this, please hit the like button because it does help other people find it, share it, and of course subscribe so you don't miss out on my next video. See you soon.